From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining me here for your evening forecast. We've got a lot to get into, but before we get into that, for those of you that are new to Weather NorCal, I want to remind you there is a free Weather NorCal app. In your iPhone, go to the App Store, search for Weather NorCal. In your Android, go to the Google Play Store, also search for Weather NorCal. Pretty much everything I offer here at Weather NorCal is right there from your phone. You can watch this video update, for example. You can watch live 24-hour streaming channel, also Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. live as well. So all kinds of great resources here, and it's all mainly local content, but it will travel with you and let you know what the forecast is wherever you go. All right, let's get you into your Krueger's Quickcast. As you know, I can kind of really go into a lot of detail, but for those of you that are in a hurry, well, here's what you could expect here for tonight and through the day tomorrow. Tonight, we're dropping down somewhere in the 30s for most of the mountains west here, right? But mainly teens and 20s for the higher elevations. And another chilly night, but you'll also notice more cloud cover tonight. That may prevent us from getting as cold as we did last night, for example. So we get out the door here for tomorrow morning, and there you can see, we'll call it partly to mostly cloudy. So the clouds are moving in tonight, and we'll be looking at those partly to mostly cloudy skies here throughout the day tomorrow. Do want to mention there still is that beach hazard statement for tonight through tomorrow morning, so just be aware that if you're going to be on the beaches, the sneaker waves will be one of the biggest concerns here. Now, we look at the satellite image here. This is not our first batch of rain, by the way. This is just going to kind of weaken and give us the clouds and help to kind of saturate the atmosphere, if you will, a little bit here. That will pave the way for this to move in, and that's what's going to bring us more rain by the time we get into tomorrow night and into your Thursday. All right, so here's what we have in store for us for your Wednesday. Mainly dry through most of the day for the valley eastward. We do expect chances for showers to increase through the afternoon and into tomorrow night for the coast, and then of course that will head eastward. So we look at that 7-day outlook, and I'm not going to go into the timing of when we expect some of the heaviest rainfall here on looking at this 7-day outlook. That's what we're going to kind of reserve here for the deeper dive here in just a bit. But bottom line, off and on chances for rain for the next 7 to really even quite honestly 10 days and beyond. That's the case for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. That's the case also for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, the eastern mountains, and I do anticipate that that will just continue well into, if not all, of next week. All right, that's your Quickcast. Have a good night if that's all you needed, but you're going to need more because we've got a lot more to talk about, especially if you have travel plans over the coming week. If you have anything going on, you just need to know what's going on with that weather because things are changing. We're going from that dry pattern to a wetter and cooler pattern too. So rain chances, that is, will increase through the day tomorrow with snow levels between 3,000 4,500 feet, just depending on your location in the mountains. Mountain travel will be impacted. There's no denying that. And this could include I-5 around Mount Shasta, Weed, for example. So that's something you need to pay attention to if you're going to be traveling over the next several days. Cool and unsettled weather pattern. This will go well into next week, as I mentioned here, and could really, quite honestly, even last through all of next week. So as I mentioned, this is going to bring us the cloud cover as we go into this evening and to tonight. It's going to pave the way and help to saturate the atmosphere and give us better chances for this to really get something to work with and give us some decent rain as we go into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. This isn't it though. Look at how active it is over the Pacific. See all these swirling areas of low pressure? These aren't necessarily where they're going to be impacting us, but we've got these disturbances that will kind of come in along this whole upper level flow, and there's more activity that is really in its developing phases right now, and you can't really see anything developing at this point, but this is all the moisture that's kind of heading our way, and we're going to see these disturbances kind of move through and help to tap into that moisture and give us that typical cool and unsettled weather pattern. This, by the way, is not an atmospheric river by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good moisture source that we're tapping into. All right, so we take a look at Futurecast. We're going to walk you through tonight and at least through noon tomorrow. What you'll notice is, again, as we go into tonight and tomorrow, the clouds move in. But these are mainly high and mid-level clouds. They're not going to bring us any rainfall. Maybe a little bit of activity here towards Del Norte County. And then through the afternoon, see how it just kind of quickly moves in? And we're seeing heavier rainfall to the north and west, pretty typical. Most likely, this isn't reaching the ground at this point, but there could be some drizzle, maybe a light shower, a sprinkle or two as we go into Wednesday, 5 p.m. for parts of the valley. Mainly for the valley eastward, it's dry. To the west of that, looking at showers developing through the afternoon. Then it's Wednesday night. Now we're seeing moderate to heavy rainfall. Snow is beginning to pile up on some of those mountain highway passes. I think we're going to start to see on I-5 maybe some issues there, although we still have to get some of that cooler air to kind of settle in, and that'll probably be coming in here as we go into early Thursday morning. So this is when we start running into issues on I-5 near Mount Shasta City, and it looks like right now Highway 299 west looks to be okay. I think as we go into Highway 36, there may be some problems there as we go into Wednesday night, Thursday, and of course, plenty of chain requirements east of I-5. We have higher mountain passes east of I-5 there. They typically go upwards of 4,000 to even 5,000 feet or higher. So that's when we tend to see more chain requirements over some of those higher mountain passes. But Thursday, 6 a.m., look what's happening. We're actually starting to dry things out in the valley. Some leftover showers to the west of that, but most of the snow is to the east, so we're still seeing travel delays and concerns by 6 a.m. I would expect that if we're having problems on I-5 late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, that conditions will improve pretty quickly here through the morning hours. Because as we go through the afternoon, you're seeing it's just drying out. And in fact, we're seeing clearing skies here for the valley, but then we've got the next system coming in. That's the one coming in for Friday night and into Saturday. All right, so how much rain can we expect? At least through Thursday night, right? I'm expecting about a half an inch in the valley, give or take. A bit more than that as you head off to the west. It's not really picking up on much rain to the east because it'll be mainly in the form of snow. And speaking of that, let's take a look at the snow totals here, forecast. You can see most of it will be in the Sierra here, right? You're seeing upwards of 4 to 8 inches of snow in Chester. Mount Shasta City, I think you could even see maybe a little bit more than 2 inches. If we can get it to stick in Bernie, yeah, a couple of inches of snow is a possibility there as well. But looks like you're going to have to go in the higher elevations of, say, Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, before you start seeing that accumulating snow there. Hey, by the way, Mount Shasta Ski Park opens tomorrow. This is what the latest images here earlier today looks like out at the ski park. Looks like they're ready to open. And the thing is, it looks like they got more snow on top of that. Look at that. As we go through Thursday night, maybe over 6 inches of snow out towards the base of the ski park. You go to the higher elevations of the ski park, maybe close to 9 inches of snow. We'll certainly take that. So here's the big trend here. So you can see here, this is for Wednesday night and Thursday. Way down over here, this is what's coming in for Friday night and Saturday morning. So take a look at the clock and take a look at these two storms as they approach. This is the one we looked at here earlier today, or earlier this during this weathercast here, to show you that, yeah, it looks like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Here's Thursday morning at 3:34 in the morning. There's that heavier rainfall and, of course, the snow in the mountains. There's that other system I was talking about for Friday night. There it is. You see, now we're starting to see the area of low pressure develop, the cold front. Now we can see as we go into Friday night, 10:30 at night on Friday, we're seeing the bulk of that rain and snow pushing through. Once again, travel delays in the higher elevations. We go into Saturday afternoon. Look at that. It actually starts to dry out even into Sunday morning. But by Sunday night into Monday, we've got maybe another round of rain moving in. Maybe even some lower elevation snow with this one could create more travel delays, more chain requirements. We zoom it out here, more activity over the Pacific that could impact our weather for the middle and latter part of next week. And this is definitely a welcome sight because this is the way you want to get the rain and snow. You get a little bit of rain and snow, then it stops. You get a little bit more, then it stops. And at times it can get heavy, and there will certainly be that here over the next several days. But you can see here, looking at the long range, if you watched this morning, we were in the lighter shade of green here, indicating a slimmer chance of seeing above normal rainfall. We're one tick upward from that now to seeing a slightly better chance of above normal rainfall. But bottom line, we've got wet weather in the forecast here in the long range. I don't think I hear anybody complaining. Let me see if I can hear anybody. No, I don't think I do hear anybody complaining. All right, take a look at those rainfall totals through Tuesday of next week. Now, you'll look at these totals, they look pretty impressive, but this is in a span of about 5 days, give or take. So you're talking 2 inches of rain for the valley, but that's an accumulation after 4 or 5 days. This looks even more impressive, doesn't it? But again, it's the same thing, 4 or 5 days. So not really concerned about flooding. Now, during the periods where we see some of that heavier rainfall, there may be just that slight potential for mudslides, debris flows, but overall, I'm not terribly concerned about that. So what does it look like when we're talking snow? Now, keep in mind, we're looking at the long-range forecast model now, so the numbers don't tend to really add up very well. And it usually has a hard time with the mountain regions as well as the snow levels. So what I've done here is I've taken the numbers out and I've kind of pinpointed a few spots where I think we could see some accumulating snow. So much like what the shorter range forecast model was showing, yeah, upwards of maybe around 2 inches or more of snow out towards Mount Shasta City. But look what happens. When you go into Saturday, we get a lot more. So we could be looking at some heavier snow as we go into Friday night, Saturday morning. But see, Saturday afternoon into Sunday, you see how we're just not seeing much? Not much more on top of that. So we see this nice long stretch without seeing any snow. We get a bit of a break. But then as we go into Sunday night into Monday, more snow. So you look at this, you go, wow, 30 inches of snow for Mount Shasta. Yeah, that's impressive. But keep in mind, remember that atmospheric river event a couple of weeks ago? We saw 30 inches of snow in less than 24 hours. This snow, all of this snow that you see here, is in a span of 4 to 5 days. So much like that of the rain, we're able to recover. And yes, we are going to see the impacts with travel delays and chain requirements off and on during these snow events, but we're not going to get 30 inches of snow in under 24 hours. It's in that span of that 4 to 5 days, and that certainly makes it a little bit more tolerable and easier. And really, it's just a welcome sight. We need the rain. We could use the snow too. By the way, I want to point out that the winds, they're not going to be a major problem, but it will be a bit gusty along the coast at times over the next couple of days. Also, that typical spot in Shasta Valley in central Siskiyou County, some gusty winds there. So high-profile vehicles could be running into some problems here. You can see as we go to midnight, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, yeah, I mean, some gusty winds kind of approaching, still in central Siskiyou County. And then as we go into Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon in particular, yeah, those winds will start to die down again. By the way, there still is that beach hazard statement through Wednesday morning, mainly along the coast here. Sneaker waves will be one of the bigger concerns at that point. So the wave heights, as you can see here, they are increasing over the next 24 hours and increasing even more as we go into Thursday. Now, as a result, we will eventually see a small craft advisory, but not until tomorrow afternoon, as a matter of fact. With those winds from the south at 15 to 20 knots, there is that small craft advisory, but again, that won't be until tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's take a look at our forecast for tonight. Temperatures in the mid-30s, give or take, for the valley. Not quite as cold tonight as it was last night, and that's simply because we are looking at a little bit more cloud cover, and that will prevent us from getting quite as cold, but still teens and 20s, especially off into the eastern mountains. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. About 50, give or take, for Trinity County. I'm not going to go over the timing of the rain and when it'll be heaviest and when we'll see the breaks, because we already talked about that when we looked at Futurecast. But you get the idea. Next 7 to 10 days, off and on chances for rain. Your typical cool and unsettled weather pattern. So for tomorrow, central and southern Humboldt County, temperatures mid to upper 50s. Take you up north, mid to upper 50s there as well. 59 degrees for Smith River, a little bit warmer in Gasquet at about 60. And for Siskiyou County, we've got temperatures in the 40s, even some 50s in there. You can see Happy Camp about 52, 45 in Weed and Mount Shasta City about 46. Snow levels on average for Siskiyou County about 3,500 feet, give or take. It could get locally lower than that at times. We take you to Modoc County, on average around 4,000 feet. Maybe a little lower at times, but mainly 4,000 to 4,500 feet. Eastern mountains, now we're getting up to closer to 4,500 feet for those snow levels on average, but could get a little bit lower than that at times as well. We take a look at your valley neighborhood forecast, and this is of course sponsored by Walgamuth Painting. Temperatures are starting to drop. We've got those temperatures in the mid-50s, although a little bit warmer to the north with 58 degrees for Redding, 55 degrees in Whiskeytown and Lakehead, a high of about 56 degrees. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding, and yes, there it is. Off and on showers here will continue here for the next 7 days and most likely going well into, if not for all of next week. Well, that's your evening update. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with your latest update and live on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, And the big ones, too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.